What's up, Bulls fans? Welcome into another episode of Bulls Latest. I want to thank Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video. I've got a great show to kick off the week in store for you guys today. Take advantage of $75 in bonus entries on Underdog, guys, after playing your first $5 today. All you got to do is scan that QR code at the top of the page to get in on the action here. This is a big stretch of basketball coming up for the Bulls and really the entire league following a great All-Star weekend. I wanted to start the show by recapping the All-Star weekend, especially Sunday, where Team Stars cruised to a victory in the final to take the tournament. It was the round robin. It was the new format this year, and I got to tell you, I think the NBA hit it on the head here. This was a great turnout for the NBA All-Star game. You saw a lot of great competition, a lot of guys playing hard, and you saw the output was certainly there from the star players. The fans got what they came to see, guys. But a 47-21 win over Team Stripes to take the hardware there. Anthony Edwards was credited with the MVP. He did also speak highly of the format change, saying that he thought that it brought the best out in players, was very supportive of it as well. He would have 32 points on 13 of 22 shooting to go along with 9 rebounds and 3 assists in that final game. Kawhi Leonard also made a strong case to be MVP of the game as well. He had an awesome performance. And then for the world team, of no surprise here, but Victor Wembanyama dominated in that first game, particularly scoring 14 points. He had 6 rebounds and 3 blocks. Overall, I think this new format was a win for the NBA. A lot of great players showed out and put on a great performance for the fans in LA and across the NBA viewing world there. So this was a great event. I think the All-Star game for the NBA specifically has caught a lot of heat in recent years in terms of guys going out and actually playing and whatnot. I do think that this was an overall win for the league. So kind of switching gears, looking at the Bulls' upcoming homestand, guys, and their upcoming schedule. I believe this is a season-long homestand for the Bulls. Coming out of the All-Star break, they will have a 7-game homestand to this point. Toronto will come to Chicago to start that on Thursday out of the break. So the Bulls will enjoy a couple of days off here. And they will follow that game up against Toronto with games hosted against Detroit, New York, Charlotte, Portland, Milwaukee, and OKC. So that's certainly a tough stretch of basketball for a team that's still trying to figure out who they are, guys, outside of the break here. I think this is a team that you're going to see kind of struggle to win games down the stretch, and I kind of told you guys to expect this because they're a guard-heavy roster now, guys, and I think the Bulls have their sights set on setting themselves up for the future in terms of getting the best possible draft pick that they can. This 7-game stretch is kind of quite the gauntlet here. I mean, teams that you would eventually look at in terms of easy winners, Charlotte and Portland are not teams to overlook here, and I think you're certainly going to see Charlotte continue to play hard and try and get that play-in seed down the stretch here. Portland's playing good basketball as well. Milwaukee, it's interesting. Giannis did come out, and I'll get into that in the NBA news here to cap off the show, but Giannis came out and said that he he's a Milwaukee Buck for now. Obviously, he hasn't played since sustaining that calf injury with all the noise surrounding him being traded. So that Milwaukee team is certainly an interesting matchup there. And then obviously the Thunder, we know what they bring to the table, one of the league's best. So, it's a gauntlet, especially for a team who hasn't seemed to figure it out post-trade deadline there where they pretty much traded away every meaningful piece on this roster. So it'll certainly be an interesting stretch, 7 home games here. And we'll get into that as we progress through the homestand, guys. I wanted to switch gears, get into the Underdog segment today, guys. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and black powders are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right. You can win up to 5,000 times your cash. Today on Underdog, guys, I am fast-forwarding looking at that matchup against the Raptors on Thursday at the United Center. I'm going to select Modest Buzelis higher than 15.5 points, and I'm going to go Scotty Barnes higher than 18.5 points. I think both guys are going to fill it up in terms of the score sheet. Modest, it seems like a low total for a guy who, I guess he's been averaging nearly 17.5 points a game or so that's about set right, but it seems low to me. I think he's going to go over on that total, especially being the focal point of this roster going forward. Scotty Barnes, I think, is going to carry the momentum over from the All-Star game, guys. He had a very solid showing in LA on Sunday night. I think he's going to enjoy the time off. I think he's going to come out firing. This is a good young player on this Toronto Raptors team, a really good young Raptors team overall. So, again, use promo code BasketballFan, guys. You can score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 there, guys.
Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8 or text HOMI 467-369.
All right, getting back into the betting preview for now. I know we're a couple days out still, but the betting preview for this Bulls-Raptors game, the line is out. The Raptors are a 4.5-point home. The Bulls are a 4.5-point underdog at home, I should say, against Toronto. The total sitting at 230.5. I have to be honest with you guys, this is one of my favorite betting spots of the year when it comes to a Bulls game. I love Toronto in this spot, especially to cover the 4.5 coming off the break against a Bulls team that, again, has not figured out who they are, what they're going to be moving forward. This is a strong play, guys. I think the Raptors convincingly cover this spread coming out of the break. You can see this at 7 p.m. Central on Thursday on CHSN, guys. This is going to be a fun matchup. This Toronto Raptors team has surprised a lot of people this year, so getting to see them in Chicago is going to be fun. I'm excited to watch this Bulls team play down the stretch, although I don't anticipate them winning a ton of basketball games, like I was saying, post-trade deadline there. I do think there's a lot to prove for a lot of these young guys, so you're going to see an opportunity for them to compete and play well, not to mention to see the continuation of Modest Buzelis ascending into a star player down the stretch here, guys. I think he really has it in him to be the next face of this organization, the face of this team. So that'll be that on Thursday at the United Center. I think 4.5 is a great number to get on Toronto in this matchup, guys. Wrapping up the show, wanted to just kind of do a whip around of NBA news. I know the All-Star break had a lot going on. You had the Rising Stars game. Modest did look good in that as well. Speaking of Modest Buzelis, it was fun to see him compete in that for the second year in a row. With the NBA news, though, kind of headlining things, especially in All-Star Weekend in LA, you kind of knew it was going to be the case, but LeBron James was constantly being asked, is this going to be your last run through an All-Star Weekend? Is this your last go-around? And he said, quote, "I want to live." And that is the most LeBron response ever. I think he's kind of just taking it as it goes, guys, and he's really unsure about his future past this year, saying he knows when he knows what he wants to do, he'll let everyone know, and he just doesn't seem to know at this given time. So we'll have to keep an eye on LeBron James. Obviously, the Lakers sitting kind of in the middle of the standings in the Western Conference right now. Like I said a few weeks ago in a show, I don't think the Lakers have what it takes to win an NBA title with that roster, guys. And I think there's a lot of pressure on that organization to kind of get it done this year. And Rob Pelinka could be on the hot seat if they do not make a run here and make a strong push towards the NBA finals there, guys, which is a lot to ask for a team that I don't think is built to make a finals run. So anyway, Adam Silver has also said he's considered all fixes to the NBA's tanking issue. Obviously, the Utah Jazz headlining a couple of teams that were fined in terms of roster management and sitting guys and this and that. $500,000 the Jazz were fined there. So $500,000, that's a pretty hefty fine. All those organizations kind of just shrug that off because of the income that they generate, for the organization nowadays and how good the NBA is at that. But I just think it's an interesting subject because you see a lot of these teams. And, I mean, you look at this Bulls team, guys. It's right in our backyard. You look at this team. Are they going to be considered a team that is kind of pushing to tank here down the stretch in order to get the best draft pick possible? It is certainly possible. Looking at the Bulls schedule here, looking at that upcoming 7-game homestand, guys, I would not be surprised if the Bulls were only able to rip off maybe one win in that. I could see them dropping 6 of 7 here very realistically. Is that tanking? It's so hard to say, but Adam Silver said he has considered all fixes for this issue. It's been one of the criticisms of the NBA for a long, long time, guys, dating well before Adam Silver, but the tanking issue in the NBA has always been something that's come up. So be interesting to see how he continues to maneuver that issue moving forward. I'm certainly going to tune in to anything that he has to say in regards to that down the stretch here. Haywood Highsmith, this is a player with the Miami Heat that was a free agent. He has signed a deal with the Phoenix Suns. This is a Suns team, guys, that's going to compete in the Western Conference. They're a very solid ball club, have been very good up till the All-Star break here. So be interesting to see how Highsmith fits in with that Suns team. I think they're going to be a team to watch to make a push out of the Western Conference there. And then former Phoenix Sun, Chris Paul, he's officially retired, guys, a member of the Toronto Raptors in his last stint here, but he's officially retired from the NBA after 21 seasons, guys. This is a player who has been they call him the point god. He's been such a great figure for the NBA for a long time, has really been a role model for a lot of young guards out there looking to get into the NBA in a lot of ways. I know Chris Paul's caught a lot of heat for how he plays and how he carries himself, but I think he is one of the league's best, and he ever will always be remembered as one of the best ever. So congrats to Chris Paul on a great NBA career. 21 seasons is a long time, guys, but he finally hangs up the sneakers as a member of the Toronto Raptors officially. So that'll do it, guys, for the first show of this week. I want to thank you guys for joining me on another episode of Bulls Latest. Again, scan that QR code. We got a few days to get back in on the NBA action here still, but scan that QR code to get ready for this next stretch of NBA basketball and get in on all the action on Underdog Fantasy. I want to thank Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring this video, and I want to thank you guys for your great support moving forward through these shows. Thanks again, guys. We will see you guys next time.